Well, traditionally in Sanatana Dharma, there are several levels or types of love. And there is a coarse, indeed, a very basic level of love, a completely crude and unrefined one. It's simply just lust, nothing more than that. But sometimes it is called love. There is another slightly more refined type of love. This is called kama. Kama is also lust, just more embellished. It is what people call butterflies in the stomach, infatuation, attraction. And all of this is connected to worldly desire. All of it is tied to egoism, clinging, attachment. And usually, desires of this level and what is called love at this level are not actually love. But in general, people experience their karmas, and a lot of drama is lived through because of this. All of these are different types of attachment. Finally, there is the level of love as attachment to each other, human attachment. And human attachment is higher, of course, than lust, than something crude, some kind of attraction. But this is also egoism, this is also clinging. And these types of love are not considered on the spiritual path. They are only obstacles. Finally, on the spiritual path, there is Prema. Prema is divine love. It is the love of the soul for God and the love of God within the soul. And mainly, when spiritual people talk about love, they truly mean Prema. Prema is the radiance of divine purity, beauty, harmony, goodness, and greatness that shines upon the soul. And when the soul perceives this radiance and becomes saturated with it, it begins to radiate it itself. And this love is very important for the yogi. This is the love that he must nurture and cultivate within himself. This love is called by different names and can manifest in various ways. Sometimes in tantric texts it is called divya-bhava or simply bhava. Bhava means a state of divine majesty, divine love, devotion, purity, and refinement all at once. It is like a very refined, loving, majestic and pure atmosphere or aura that surrounds the yogi. And it is precisely for the sake of this atmosphere in the soul that mantras are recited, pranayamas are practiced, worship is performed, and rituals are carried out. It is very important to change the atmosphere of the soul. And when the atmosphere of the soul changes, its goals change, karmic knots are untied, its abilities blossom, deities awaken in the channels, and the energy transforms. It is precisely through changing this atmosphere that the soul is able to enter samadhi and attain liberation. There is even a special term for this. It is called bhava samadhi. Bhava samadhi is experienced by people devoted to God, who enter into this majestic, exalted atmosphere of worship and devotion to God. The Tantras say, whatever rituals you perform, however many pranayamas you do, however many mantras you recite, all of it is useless if it does not lead to the experience of bhava. But if it leads to the experience of bhava, then liberation is attained easily, and all methods become effective. And love, in this sense, has a specific name, divya-bhava. And divya-bhava is an integral part of the path to liberation. The mind and mood that bring about liberation, or the liberating bhava, is called mukti-bhava. Mukti-bhava in turn consists of two other bhavas. These are Brahma Aham Bhava. The experience of I am Brahman, I am the Absolute, I am one with God. And divya-bhava is the experience of divine love, divine purity, faith, devotion, and greatness. And these two bhavas, these two states of mind that each of us possesses, correspond to the fundamental principles in Shaivism, Shiva and Shakti. Shiva is the first tattva, and it is called Shiva tattva. Shakti is the second tattva, Shakti tattva. These two bhavas correspond to them. And for a dedicated yogi, it is profoundly important to truly develop such a profound and divine love through sincere devotion, through dedicated worship, through the specific yoga of worshipping the chosen deity, through the practice of Guru Yoga, through the spiritual discipline of Ishvara Yoga, and through the general worship of God in all his forms. And if this is lacking, you need to pay attention. I do asanas, I do pranayamas, I meditate in the mornings, I chant mantras, I practice visualizations, I read some sacred texts, I engage in contemplation, analytical meditations, I try to practice self-inquiry, atma vichara. But still, something is missing. I keep waiting for something, and it still doesn't come. Where is it, this divine experience? Where is this happiness that the great saints talk about? Where is the ecstasy of the great saints and devotees? Where is all of this? All of it seems ordinary, daily, ritualistic, routine. But there's no real breakthrough. So what is the problem then? Such a yogi starts to wonder, what am I doing wrong? I get up early in the morning, I do all the asanas, all the pranayamas, I follow all the transmissions from the guru that I received, I recite all the mantras, I do all the visualizations, and my energy is awakened. I can observe, and my observer is well trained. I keep myself in check, I observe the vows, commandments, disciplines, self-discipline. But still, something is missing, something is still missing. For some reason, my soul doesn't sing. For some reason, there's no samadhi. For some reason, I can't communicate with the gods. For some reason, I remain limited. And sometimes a gloomy mood comes over me. And sometimes I react just like an ordinary person, gloomy and all. There is no divine light that would lift the soul and carry it away to heavenly realms, never to descend again into ordinary perception. So what is missing here? What is missing here is divya-bhava. That's what it's all about. There is not enough divine love. And so, all the gods, all the angels in the heavenly realms, they dwell in divya-bhava. They are nourished by it, their bodies are made of it, and everything around them consists of this divine love. Divya-bhava, divine love, is the fundamental principle upon which their worlds, their lives, their existence, the meaning of life, and all their manifestations are based. In the same way, we must ensure that in the process of spiritual practice, divya-bhava becomes our direct and constant practice. It can be cultivated just as one cultivates the inner observer or works with energy. Of course, you cannot create true divya-bhava. You cannot cultivate it by reading texts, chanting mantras, or through artificial meditation. True divya-bhava comes only as a result of divine grace, as a blessing. It comes from God. But we can set the intention, we can direct our soul toward attaining this divya-bhava. We can strive to purify ourselves completely so that divine love may truly touch us, truly fill us, and enlighten us. We can indeed aspire to this, and sooner or later, our dedicated efforts will certainly bear fruit.